Hey everybody, welcome back to Pentiment. And last time we started investigating the murder, and we investigated the body. There was a blow to the back of the head. The main thing is they think Brother Piero stabbed the victim, which it said he fell on his own knife, so we can disprove that. And they're saying that might not be enough to get him off the hook. We got some rumors about something to do with the nuns, and we also snuck into the library, and we had to make a hasty escape. We did get a book that we looked into that should help us with the codex that's in the prior's office, I think it was. It was his room. Some kind of a... I don't know what to even call it, but some kind of a device that you can use to translate messages. And, yeah, so now I'm off to the abbey. They told me to go home, even though I secretly snuck in twice to investigate the body, and also went into the library and learned a bit more backstory with the nuns. So that's kind of the main thing I need to do now, is talk to the nuns and question them. Hello, Andres. Morning. Hope the day is treating you well. Well, enough. There's too much to do and not enough hours to do it all. The storm made such a mess of the town, and there's leaks on the roof at home, and then there's all that wool. Lord. Are the ewes so near to lambing already? You noticed? Yes, they're just about due, so we sired them last week. What a trial that was. I must have spent ages washing it all. Have you ever smelled wet, dirty wool? Ugh, there's nothing worse. Now that it's clean, I've got to spin it, and it takes an age on its own. Lord, I don't know where I'll find the time. Won't Clara help you? Certainly. Sometimes I forget you're from Nuremberg, Andres. Clara, Hetty, Veronica, Kat, even little Ursula will be there, though she makes mischief more than she helps. At least the work goes quickly with the women working together. Lively conversation helps pass the time. Sometimes we even get visitors. Could I be a visitor? You're welcome to come. I'm sure the others will be glad of your company, too. Johann Bauer will be there to keep an eye on us. As long as you stay outside, I can't see what harm visiting would cause. Alright, count me in. I'm pleased to hear it. Everyone will be glad to see you, and I always appreciate your company. We meet at Johann Bauer's home. Come by in the morning or afternoon and speak to Johann. I should get back to work. It was a pleasure running into you, Andres. Be well, Ava. Hello, Andreas. I found a rather full pouch of coin on the table this morning. I thought you might have left it. I did. It's for you to pay your taxes you owe the Abbey. Andreas, this is far more than your rent payment. We can't accept this. Please, Clara, it's the least I can do. You and Peter have been such gracious hosts. But Andreas, how did you even find so much coin? Are you sure you'll have enough to spare for yourself? I have my ways, Clara. I'm more resourceful than you think. You and your secrets, Andreas Mailer. I won't pry. Thank you, Andreas. You don't know what this means to us. It's probably best not to mention it. Of course, I won't mention it to anyone. Still, thank you. I'll let you move on with your day. God bless you. Until later. Oh, Andreas, I meant to ask, would you care to join us for a meal? Yeah, might as well. Bless us, O Lord, in these your gifts which we are about to receive from your bounty. And we pray that you keep safe the soul of my dear Christine, gone these 6 years. She is missed at this table by her husband and children, but we take comfort that she will be with you in the paradise. Through Christ our Lord, amen. Saw that wretch of a miller this morning. The bastard had the gall to raise his hand to me in greeting. Should have spat at his feet. Dad, I don't know how we're going to pay the Abbey's taxes if he raises the milling fee. Maybe you can work on an arrangement that benefits you both. No use talking to that man, not with the bad blood between us. I could try to speak with him. He's friendly with me. Absolutely not. And don't you ever speak to him again. Ever. I'm sorry, Dad, I won't. I promise. You're going to give yourself chest pains again if you keep going on like that. It's not my chest that pains me, boy. Christ, but my back hurts. How are we going to get these fields planted in time? I've been picking up the slack, haven't I? We'll get by all right. Is farm work so hard on the body? Christ, don't get him started. You're damned right it's hard. Up with the sun no matter the weather, out there in the muck and the elements, working my hands to the goddamn splinters. Watch your heart, son. Want to leave Clara a widow? Why don't you go see Agnes Sternillerin about a balm for your back? I don't want goddamned women's medicine. Dad, we have a guest. If Agnes's medicine is good enough for me and Clara, I don't see why it can't help you too. Agnes once gave me a tincture for an upset stomach that was quite helpful. Miss Agnes, you've got a problem with, Dad. Why don't you see Dr. Stoltz instead? Stoltz is even worse. Charge you as much as the miller with all the kindness of the horsemen of the plague. The pain will pass. Push through, just as I always have. Stubborn boy. Why don't you talk to that old soldier up by the abbey? Yeah, what was his name? Florian? Florian, yes. It was on the tip of my tongue. That's when he was so fond of the abbey, Peter. Florian might live in the abbey, but he's a soldier still. One of them worth talking to is now that Father Matthias has passed. When was that? 4 months ago? You knew Father Matthias? More like Matthias made it his business to know me. Matthias, he was impressed by my age. Thought I must have been blessed by the Lord. Wanted to know about my life and the things I'd seen. Good man for a monk, not like that new abbot. Only cares about his coffers. Gernard does. That's the abbey for you. Do you see Otto up there much, Andres? Abbot keeps him busy. Had dinner with him and Idris recently. He was working on some repairs to the Abbot's house. Did anyone in the Abbey have a hello from me? Jog. What, Clara? I'm only curious. No, Jorg. No one had a hello for you. Were you expecting one? It's only that I talk to one of the sisters there sometimes, Zinna. And I was wondering if she, forget it. Just stupid anyway. We don't often get meals with you, Andres. Pestering folks around town with questions like you do. Want to know anything about the town? Did you ever have any encounters with Baron Rothvogel? You think he talks to us? Heh, may as well be furniture the likes of him. Perhaps he doesn't talk to you, but he's known to have a wandering eye. What? If he's made advances on either of you? Warrens was known for pursuing peasant women? The young women in town know it's best to avoid the Baron Rothvogel when he comes to visit. Whether married to a man or married to Christ, neither gives him much pause. Married to Christ? He means he goes after the nuns. He's a handsome man, rich and powerful. None of us are really beyond his reach. There was that young woman who came to live with Lucky and Agnes, wasn't there? That's not our business, Jorg. Fucking nobles. Fucking nobles. All this shouting is making Ursula restless. Let us finish our meal in peace. Alright. Sorry, Ursula. Time to get back to work. I'll hope you see you at the spinning beef, Andreas. Where is this? Is the spinning bee today? Hey, Andres, you say hello to the girls today? Ava and Clara? No, I mean the chickens, Peter, James, and John. They like it when you stroke their back or give them a good scratch under the breast. You named your chickens after the apostles? Isn't that blasphemy? Oh, I guess when you put it plain like that. But I hear about the apostles every Sunday in Mass. They witness great moments of glory, and they witness Jesus' great moments of glory in his darkest trials. And I was thinking, that's how it is with the girls and me. They see everything I deal with around here. Word of advice, don't mention that to anyone else, especially the father. It's fine, I get it. You can call them the girls from now on. I don't recall your family eating eggs. What do you do with all of them? Oh, we sell them to the Bowers. Clara says we need extra money for taxes. Anyway, I should get back to it. Until later, Andreas. Until then. Andreas. See if I can talk to this guy real quick. Leave me be, Andreas. He is not being forthright with me, and he seems eager to get away. If I wait here, maybe he'll leave and I can observe his actions. Should I do it now? It'll probably take a while. I still think talking to the nuns is my best avenue here. Johann. Covenant Garden. Was the one I was supposed to talk to? Oops. Sister Matilda. That's her. God bless you, Master Mailer. Let me ask you some questions, Sister Matilda. You know Mother Cecilia doesn't like us talking to men unless it's truly necessary. This concerns the murder of the Baron. Yes, it's tragic, but what does it have to do with me? Why did you have to leave Curacao to go to the Hermitage? Baron Rothweigel has an appetite for young women. Neither his marital vows nor the vows of the women seem to matter much to him. When I was on my way into town one day, he surprised me in the meadow and made his interest clear. Do you walk to town alone? Then, yes, I never felt like I was any danger in passing. I didn't feel threatened by the Baron, at first. I'm not a stranger to the attention of men. I refused his advances. I thought that would be the end of it. This was not enough, because he did the same thing the next day. I refused him again. I thought if I was patient, the problem would solve itself. The problem would leave with him. I never thought that the Baron was capable of doing what he did. On the third day, he attacked me on my way through the meadow. He dragged me into the forest, where he could have his way with me. I managed to badly scratch his neck, saved my virtue, but it enraged him. He beat me until he was exhausted, and he left me there in the woods. Mother Cecilia had me removed from Curacao for my safety until I could recover. The wounds to my body have healed, but the attack has left a lasting injury in my mind. So, did you kill the Baron? No, I did not. If you don't believe me, do what you find is necessary. It is hard to ignore your past with the Baron. I was angry. I was filled with hate, yes, but it's been years. Mother Cecilia and Father Thomas helped me move past the anger to find love in this community. Father Thomas? Yes, Father Thomas is our confessor. We can talk to Mother Cecilia about our problems, but only a priest can hear our confessions. Sister Matilda, did you receive a strange note recently? Yes, how did you know? Baron Rothweigel received one. What did it say? Here, look for yourself. Remember what he did, the violence you suffered, the red bird flies, Maintenance chapter. Rothweigel, the red bird. I found it in my bed in the nuns' dormitory. You can keep it if you'd like. In your bed? Who could have put it there? The only people allowed beyond the gardens are the sisters. I can't imagine any of them making this. Mother Cecilia and Sister Illuminata have beautiful handwriting, but both of them have been so kind to me. Thank you for your kind, sister. God bless you, Master Mailer. That seems like a pretty big clue. Told me the Baron attacked her during his last visit. I guess there's nowhere I'm supposed to be. There's John Bauer's farm and the widow. The midwife. This shovel has blood on the blade. Not normal. I think Sister Matilda uses it in the garden. I should ask her about it. May I ask you some questions, Sister Matilda? You know, Mother Cecilia doesn't like us talking to men unless it's truly necessary. I have to ask you about your shovel. The garden shovel, I wouldn't say it's mine. It belongs to the abbey. I just use it more than the other sisters. There's blood on it. I recently used it to kill baby rabbits in the garden. The other sisters are too squeamish to do it. I didn't clean it because I was going right back into the dirt anyway, but why bring up the shovel? Oh, I understand. No, I didn't use it to kill the Baron. A man is not a rabbit. Thank you for your time, sister. God bless you, Master Mailer. Maybe another sister can verify if she was killing rabbits. She doesn't have anything to say. I don't think there's anyone in here. Nope. God bless you, Andreas. God bless you, Mother Cecilia. Is there something I can help you with? I need to talk to you about Sister Matilda. Matilda told me. Of course. What happened to Sister Matilda was tragic. Lorenz, the Baron, tried to seduce Sister Matilda. She rebuked him several times. So one morning he attacked her in the meadow on her way to town. He dragged her into the woods. Sister Matilda is a strong woman, but her resistance was met with violence. When pilgrims to the shrine found her, she had been beaten so badly she could barely move. I'm assuming the Baron didn't suffer any consequences for this attack. No, I knew he wouldn't. I also knew that bringing the attack to the attention of Father Matthias would put him in an impossible position. The Baron would suffer no consequences, but the Abbot would have refused his continued patronage. I concealed the assailant's identity from Father Abbot and had Sister Matilda taken to the hermitage in Mittenwald. She stayed there under the care of sisters until she recovered and could return. How did Sister Matilda feel about seeing the Baron again at Curacao? Andreas, if you want me to tell you that I think Sister Matilda killed the Baron, I won't. Seeing him was hard for her, of course. She defended her virtue from the Baron, but her injuries were severe. Her body recovered in time. Her mind, I don't know if it'll ever will. She still fights him in her dreams. She wakes in the night screaming, soaked in her own sweat. So it affected her, yes, and it still affects her. That doesn't mean she wanted to kill the Baron. It certainly doesn't mean she actually did. Sister Matilda is a faithful servant and a friend of Christ. I believe truly, Andreas. She is respected and beloved in this community for good reason. Very well. Thank you, Mother Cecilia. Andreas, if you want to thank me, do not mention Sister Matilda to the Archdeacon. I do not believe she could have done this. Of course. God bless you, Andreas. I'm kind of thinking it's a red herring. I don't think she would have been strong enough to hit him with a blunt object multiple times. Just doesn't seem right. Nobody in here. You can pet the dog. I've been mostly petting cats, but I gotta give the dog some love too. So the only thing I really have left to do here is check and see if I can get into the... No, this isn't the right place. There we go. Now that I know the connection between the astrological symbols on the cipher and the elemental symbols on the Volvel, Frennic's note should be easy to decipher. Wait a minute. It needs to be yellow. Okay. This one is green. This one is red. That one is blue. That one is red. That one is yellow. That one is green. That one is green. And this one is blue. Gearhard, as in the late brother Gearhard? Yes, it can't be a coincidence. Hi, Gearhard. Brother Gearhard died sometime last year. How does this connect to him? Is it an anagram using Gearhard's name? Harried, hardier. Where does the G go? God, I'm sure Andyak would know. There are 7,560 different combinations to try. I don't have the time to solve it through brute force. Let me think. To use his name for an abbreviation? It's a lot of letters for an abbreviation. A cipher inside of a cipher? Perhaps. If it is, I'm not equipped with a key to solve it, so I must proceed with other options. Let me think. Why his name? And why Heigerhard? Dutch? No, not Flemish or French. Let me think. Wait, maybe it's an abbreviation and a name. Gearhard is the name. What is H-I? Haud Ignota? No. Hink Ile Lacrimine? Oh my god, it's so much simpler. Hic Iet. Here lies. Here lies Gearhard. Gearhard's grave. Wonder if it has something to do with the Baron's murder. I should ask the Abbot for permission to exhume the grave as soon as possible. That's interesting. He's not the Abbot. The Abbot was... not the kitchen. He's out here. Andres, I trust you're abiding by my command to leave Piero and the rest of the monastics in peace. Brother Gearnot's in a difficult position. He hasn't been the Abbot long, and he's young. The elder monks don't respect him. A friend of the Prince Bishop, murdered under the roof of his abbey, doesn't look good. If I represent a threat to the Abbot's authority, he could expel me from the abbey, masterwork or not. Then I may never discover who really killed Lorenz, and Piero will die for it. I should be careful not to alienate Gearnot before the Archdeacon arrives. I've been abiding by your command, frustrating though it is. I do not appreciate your characterization of my reasonable request as frustrating. Nevertheless, I must admit, I have not heard any complaints about your behavior, for which I am grateful. I know you and Brother Piero are close. You must trust that if Piero is innocent of the Baron's death, God will reveal as much to the Archdeacon. There is more at stake here than you understand, Andres. What is at stake here exactly? The Abbey cannot be legally held at fault for Baron Rothvogel's death. It doesn't matter if the Abbey is at fault. A nobleman died on its premises. There are few extant double monasteries with working scriptoriums any longer. They're costly to operate, and the Church does not approve of them. Baron Rothvogel was a friend of the Prince Bishop, and if the Prince Bishop were so inclined, he could order the Abbey closed and our community disbanded. A community of which you are not a member, and so whose precarity you cannot understand. I thought you were a clever man, Andreas. Your ignorance disappoints me. I do not wish to disappoint you, Father Gurnell, but neither do I wish for an innocent man to die based on circumstance alone. Which is why I've come to you with a request. And? I have reason to believe... Oh yeah, Frennick is Geralt's assistant. Shouldn't blame him. I don't want to assume. Keep Frennick's name out of it entirely, then my reasoning would sound rather vague. Because I guess if he presses, I might as... yeah. Well, here he goes. I have reason to believe Prior Frennick has hidden something in Brother Gerhardt's grave, and I'd like to dig it up. What does that have to do with the death of Baron Rothvogel? I suspect the weapon used to murder the Baron may be buried there. Baron Rothvogel was stabbed. We know the murder weapon used to kill him. Brother Piero was found holding it. The Baron's stab wound was self-inflicted. He was killed by a blow to the head. I shouldn't reveal that, because he'll be like, how do you know? He could have suffered 2 fatal injuries. All of that blood. A shallow gut wound doesn't bleed like that. And you would know this... how? I've given men such injuries before. Now a head wound, that's bloody business. Always puts me to mind of slaughtering pigs. That's quite enough. I'll leave the education of the Baron's final injury to Dr. Stoltz and the Archdeacon. Not some journeyman artist. Florian let me watch his investigation of Lauren's wounds against the Abbot's wishes. It would be ungrateful of me to reveal his disobedience to the Abbot. But what we learned might help convince the Abbot that Piero couldn't have killed Lawrence. Yeah, it's a toughie. It's evident to anyone who gives Baron Rothvogel's body more than a cursory examination. Are you suggesting I didn't give the murder of Baron Rothvogel my due attention? You seem to think I don't care who killed the Baron or whether Piero is the one who did it. I do. But I have a role to play here, and I can't be seen to undermine the authority of the Archdeacon and stepping outside of it. Do you take me for a fool? I will not let you exhume Brother Gerhardt's body on a hunch. What does it matter? There's nothing more than bones now. I'm sure he won't mind. He was a brother of this abbey, and he should be left in peace. Just as I would like to be. Leave now. Do not pester me about this again. Well, that didn't work. Maybe I can still do it, just without permission. Otto Zimmerman? Where's this Otto fellow? Oh, he was a carpenter. Good day, Andres. Do you need something? Father Abbot said I should help you if you needed it, so here I am. There's a matter I need your help with, Brother Volkbert. I suspect there's something hidden in Gerhardt's grave. Do you think you could dig it up for me? Would you ask Father Gernot? I want to help, but I don't think I should, unless he says it's all right. Volkbert's a kind man, and he always wants to help, but he's also very credulous. Deceiving him would be easy, but... How severe would the Abbot's wrath be? After all, Volkbert's only a novice. Surely you would understand that I tricked him and would be lenient, wouldn't he? Alright, I'll go talk to the Abbot. Fine, that's good. Be well, Andres. He's probably the one that would have helped me. I guess I can use him as a backup if Otto doesn't want to do it. I'm pretty sure Otto was in the city. It's not Otto. That's Otto. Afternoon, Andres. Heard that Baron friend of yours was killed up at the Abbey. My mentor, Brother Piero, has been blamed for the crime. One of the elder brothers, isn't he? Might have met him while I was replacing the scriptorium roof. Seemed an all-right sort for a monk. Sorry to hear it. Anyway, did you need something? Otherwise, I got things to do. Do you think you could help me dig up a grave at the Abbey? Why? You think there's something in there that will prove the old brother's innocence, right? That's it. You're perceptive, Otto. Yeah, I only listen when people talk. You should try it. Did you talk to the Abbot about this mischief? Wouldn't want to get my grubby hands all over his stuff without his permission. Of course, the Abbot knows all about it. You're not a very good liar, Andreas, but if it's alright, I don't care what the Abbot thinks. It'll take a few hours, especially if I'm digging alone. You got time for that? I'm ready to go. Fine, I'll grab my tools. I think this is the best lead we've got, rather than just faffing around. So, town carpenter, what's that like? Exhausting, not unlike this here. No, that's exhuming. Satisfying, too, to make things with my hands, to feel the sun on my neck and sap under my fingers. And I haven't fallen off a roof yet, so all in all, I can't complain. Being the only carpenter in Tassing must keep you busy. Busy's one word for it, overworked's another. Overworked's another. It was easier my dad and I could do the work together, but since his stroke, it is what it is. But I like being a carpenter. It's necessary work, it keeps me talking to everyone in town and aware of what's troubling them. Many people in Tassing are struggling under us. Peasants especially. I heard as much from Clara Gertnan. They used to be able to pay a portion of their taxes and crops, but the Abbot put an end to that. Now if they get a bad price from Miller, they don't have enough to pay the abbey. That's exactly the kind of thing I'm talking about. The abbot might own the land, but he doesn't work it. He just reaps the benefits of other efforts. But it's not just him. The law, imperial law, that's what gives him the power. So maybe the laws have to change. Someone should do something about that. Who, though? Not city tradesmen like you. Too much work. You won't want to get your hands dirty. Anyway, I should get back to digging. It's going to take a while. Doing this all on my own. I feel lazy. Oh, Father Matthias is here. With a wooden headstone, too. Things must be worse for the abbey than I thought. The abbey must be having money troubles. I would explain why the abbot's wringing the peasants dry. The rest of the abbots are in the crypt or under the church. I took a look at them while inspecting the foundations with Endris. I don't know if that adds them, but the reason I keep doing that on the names, if anyone's wondering, is that I think that's what adds them to the character glossary. I'm not 100%, and I don't really want to risk it, but I do it only if it's a solid underline, not the dots. The dots mean I've already looked at it before. Just to explain. Curacao is built on top of an old Roman fort, not cheap to maintain by any means, because I mean that's the way the other glossary works, with the words. Surely they can do better than a wooden gravestone. Take it up with the abbot if it bothers you so much. Me, I think they should all get wood. Sister Maria, the librarian, probably before your time. I was a boy when she passed. My father spoke well of her, though. Said she reminded him of his own grandmother, a sweet woman who loved the Lord. I expect the abbot will have her dug up soon. Ah, for the crypt? A ghoulish tradition, I've always thought. What's dead should remain buried. As he's digging up a grave. But then, they don't have much space here, and many of the monks aren't long for the death themselves, so... Mother Brunhilde Abbotessa? I doubt anyone's in that one. Given the age, I guess she'd long been moved to the abbey crypt by now. You're worried Father Guénot might try to punish us for this. God willing, we'll be done before he finds out about it. So you want me to speed it up? Sure, what do you care about my back? Christ. Short, angry monk coming this way. Shit, Matthew's not gonna like this. I could hide, but then I'd be putting Otto in a tough spot. He's not gonna be happy with me if he has to deal with Matthew on his own. But this could be a clue that unlocks the truth about who killed Lawrence. What's a little trouble if it saves an innocent man's life? Ah, hell, we're destined for an airful. Is all well here? Why would it not be? Why have you coerced the carpenter into digging up the late Father Gerhard? I suspect someone has disturbed this grave, and I suspect it's connected with the Baron's murder. That is curious, if you're telling the truth. Even so, Brother Gerhard's grave is not your concern. You are not a member of this community, Andres. The abbot gave us permission. The rest is not your business. As the circuitor, it is my duty to prevent mischief such as this. I'm terribly convincing. It's the hat. It gives me an air of authority. I don't think this is gonna work. You are mistaken. Master Zimmerman, please clean up this mess. I'm going to speak with the abbot about this immediately. Well, poop. Is that going to cause problems for you? Proving Piero's innocence is what matters. I'm not worried about anything else. You got convictions after all, huh? Well, the sun won't wait, so I better get back to digging. Brother Jacob from Cologne. Did you ever meet him? We spoke a couple times. He was a funny man, just about the only one of these monks with a sense of humor. Some of them aren't so bad. Piero especially knows how to laugh. If you say so. Jacob has a gift for manipulating his features and his voice to imitate the other monks. A man like that is wasted in an abbey. Well, I've reached the body, but... What, something wrong with it? Looks fine enough, decay notwithstanding, but someone stuffed a sack up under his ribs. Good God, let me see. Arcane tools. They could serve no other purpose. Tools? What do you mean? What would you use these for? Magic. Two are plated with precious metals and engraved, the silver-chased rod and the golden plate. The rod has symbols of the zodiac on it. The plate has some script I don't recognize. And a knife. Seems ordinary enough, but together with the other two buried here. Why would someone bury them here together? Because they're forbidden. Wait, there's blood in some of the symbols on this rod. Dried to be certain, but not that old. Frennick tried cleaning this, but wasn't able to remove all the blood. Could this be what was used to kill Lorenz? Who buried this here, anyway? I can't say, but it may be connected to the Baron's murder. What? None of this makes any sense. What's going on here, Andres? That's what I need to figure out, Otto. Thank you for your help. Alright. I think I'm gonna leave it there for now. And we'll be able to figure out what's going on here. The note he wrote must have been a message for a fellow magician to dig them up at a later date. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to leave it here for now. Things are heating up in the mystery, and we will have more of this on Sunday. Tomorrow we'll have Genesis Noir, and like I said, more Pentiment on Saturday. So hope you have a good rest of your day, and a good weekend. Bye-bye.